Governor Gretchen Whitmer extends the stay-at-home order, what it means for your summer plans. New data shows many Michiganders aren't waiting to get their hair cut or shopping fix. The trend popping up across state lines. And a program helping those most at risk of COVID-19 by allowing them to stay home. How it's pairing West Michiganders with fresh food from local farmers.
Live, local, breaking news. You're watching News Channel 3, live at 7.
Good morning and thank you so much for joining us here on News Channel 3 this Saturday morning. I'm Jason Puhr. Let's take a live look over Battle Creek this morning, and it is a foggy Battle Creek this morning. We've seen a lot of fog in this area all morning long, and honestly, it's gotten worse. We were able to see a few streetlights in the shot around 6 o'clock this morning. Now, I don't think I can make anything out on camera. Let's head over to meteorologist Will Haney for what you can expect this morning and today. Will, that shot says it all. All right, Will, we'll be ready for it. Governor Whitmer extends the stay-at-home order through June 12th. That order keeps places like gyms, casinos, and theaters closed. She's also extending her emergency declaration through June 19th. Some other restrictions are loosening. Small gatherings of 10 people or less are now allowed with social distancing. Starting Tuesday, retail businesses and auto dealerships may open by appointment, and non-essential medical, dental, and veterinarian procedures can take place starting next Friday. The governor also says COVID-19 cases in some West and Mid-Michigan counties are doubling every 10 days. However, the state's also ramping up testing. Here's a look at the latest data from the state. Yesterday, state officials reported 403 new COVID-19 cases and 29 new deaths. The total number of confirmed cases is nearing 54,000. So far, more than 5,100 people in the state have died from the virus, and at least 28,000 have recovered. Yesterday, the Michigan Department of Corrections finished testing every prison inmate in its system, a known source of community spread. Here's a look at the numbers in West Michigan. Kent County has the highest case count, more than 3,200. Kalamazoo is nearing 800 cases with 47 deaths. Not pictured here, Berrien County with 571 cases and 43 deaths, and Cass County with 73 cases and 2 deaths. New data shows more Michiganders are traveling to Indiana recently. Mobility data from the location analytics firm Cubic shows an increase over the past 2 weeks. Unlike Michigan, Indiana restaurants and barbershops are open for business. Despite Governor Whitmer's extended stay-at-home order, many people are making the trip. At one of the closest barbershops to the border, its owner says about 40% of her customers are Michiganders. She says most of her customers are coming from Berrien or Cass County, but a few have driven more than 100 miles. Restaurants are also seeing a boom in out-of-state business. Many Indiana business owners say the added traffic is helping make up for money lost during shutdowns. Hopeful some of the customers will come back, even after Michigan opens up. Neighbors are coming together in Midland County after flooding ravaged parts of the community. Some homes are now heaps of debris, and entire businesses are wiped out. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers are working together after both the Sanford and Edenville dams failed. Some public spaces like the farmers market in downtown Midland were almost swallowed in floodwater. City subcontractors continue to pump water out of the homes. As state officials investigate the dam failures, they're also working to make sure it doesn't happen again. Yesterday, the Emergency Operations Center released this map of all the state-regulated dams in Michigan. Their goal is to inform the public on the structures as well as any potential risks associated with them. You can see several dams in our area. For example, the Monarch Paper Mill Dam in Kalamazoo County is deemed low risk for downstream hazard potential, but the Spring Valley Park Dam in the city of Kalamazoo is given significant risk for downstream hazard potential, meaning if it fails, it can have a significant impact on human life. Several residents along the Kalamazoo River in Comstock are still feeling the effects of flooding. Water has submerged yards and some streets off of King Highway. Several other locations, like Kalamazoo's Lakewood neighborhood, have been inundated with high water. Several streets remain closed in the city of Kalamazoo as well. The latest river forecasts show the Kalamazoo River gradually falling throughout this weekend. A flood warning remains in effect until early tomorrow morning. The Kalamazoo County Health and Community Services Department says the COVID-19 pandemic has created a barrier for vulnerable adults to get basic needs such as food without potentially being exposed to the virus. News Channel 3's Tricia McCulley joins us live from her home to tell us about a new program in Kalamazoo County designed to help these older adults. Good morning, Tricia. Thank you, Tricia. It's 7:07. We're hearing from one West Michigan woman who, at 102 years old, has already lived through a pandemic and overcome devastation. As the world battles a deadly pandemic and now Michigan recovers from historic flooding, Helen Barrett says she's learning the importance of patience. Barrett lived through the Spanish flu, another deadly pandemic. To celebrate her birthday this week, loved ones put together a parade for her. She says her advice is to just take a ride and enjoy life. She says during the multiple crises she's lived through, she learned the importance of the simple things in life like family and a slice of cake. Today you can get a taste of the fair without stepping out of your car. The Branch County Fairgrounds is hosting a concession drive-through to celebrate Memorial Day weekend. There will be caramel corn, cotton candy, elephant ears, corn dogs, and more. Volunteers will take orders and return with your concessions. It's happening today from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you can't make it today, it's open from 11 to 4 tomorrow. You can only pay in cash, and you're asked to enter off of Garfield Avenue. Beaches nationwide are reopening to the public just in time for Memorial Day. The new restrictions in place over the weekend. New guidelines for those with allergies as the COVID-19 pandemic changes the way people get medical help. How doctors say you can take care of allergic reactions at home. The NFL set to return in September, but at least one stadium won't look the same. The new plans for games in Pittsburgh. Many Americans will venture out of their homes this Memorial Day weekend after many weeks of sheltering in place. Even though far fewer people are expected to travel this year, officials are urging them not to let their guard down. At Washington, D.C.'s National Mall and Memorial Parks, one-way directional signs will help direct traffic to encourage social distancing. In South Dakota, Mount Rushmore is opening today about 3 weeks earlier than planned. Sunbathing is still off limits at Los Angeles County's reopened beaches, but officials are easing restrictions on bike paths. Cities like South Lake Tahoe are asking visitors to stay away altogether. AAA expects fewer people to hit the road this weekend than the record low of 31 million during the Great Recession. The Pittsburgh Steelers are planning ahead for social distancing during football season. The team is withholding 50% of its normal ticket inventory, which went on sale yesterday. The NFL season is set to go ahead as scheduled, with the first regular season game on Thursday, September 10th. But it will likely look different amid the pandemic. Every year, 200,000 Americans need emergency care for allergic reactions to food. New suggested guidelines were just released to help people manage severe reactions at home and avoid hospitals packed with COVID-19 patients. Delaney Matthew has more in this week's Sinclair Cares. It's exciting, Will, to see so many 80s in that 7-day forecast. It's going to be hot, but it's nice to see that I think it's safe to say the transition's in full swing to those warmer temperatures. Thank you, Will. 7:21, one stimulus check finds its way to its owner after ending up in a car wash trash can. The happy ending thanks to one employee's dedication. A North Carolina veteran says he was not expecting a federal stimulus check, but he received one in a very unexpected way. Car wash employee Antonio Hernandez came across some very expensive trash at work, a $1,200 IRS stimulus check. The man it belonged to had no idea he was receiving one. Hernandez and his daughter, Michelle, were able to get the check back to him. He says it couldn't have come at a better time. Hernandez and his daughter say they're just happy they could help. They still do not know how the check ended up in the trash bin. 7:25, but it sounds like it ended up in the hands of the right people. That's great. Let's send it over to meteorologist Will Haney so he can give you an update on this weekend's forecast. Will. All right, Will, thank you. 7:26. The CDC has updates for its COVID-19 transmission guidelines, where it says the greatest risks are and how you can protect yourself. Some Michigan businesses are reopening just in time for the Memorial Day weekend. The safety measures changing the experience up north. Memorial Day weekend is here, but the pandemic is changing many plans. The warning for shoreline visits in one local county.